Hello, YouTube.
Hello, welcome everyone.
Welcome to another video by Deception Stop Us here. And this is going to be responding to questions and answers here. Many of you are already familiar with this, how this works, because I do it on my other channel. But I'm going to read, I have them pulled up here on my phone. I'm going to read the questions that we got and we're going to answer them. Okay? All right. So, first question by Kelvin Rain. Let me see. Kelvin Rain. Okay, how did you go about researching the law for your case? You can respond in the Q&A. Okay, we're going to start with that.
Various research techniques included different books at the law library, um, uh, various various different tools, LexisNexis in law library, and also some internet various internet sites. The idea is to kind of get an idea of what it is you're looking for, or what kind of motion, or whatever you're working on, or whatever you're trying to do. The very first thing is to kind of get a grip on what type of action you're taking, and research everything that you can in relation to that type of action, and try to find some actions that were done similar, and
Precedent.
yeah, and do some comparative analysis with people who were in your same situation that may have been filing that same thing, or may have been in that same scenario. So basically, you want to just research, and every little aspect of whatever you need to do, you want to be researching that and checking, and researching and checking, and researching and checking in more than one place.
Yeah, and that takes a lot of time, a lot of hours. If you go to the law library, they have all kinds of like books and stuff on like case law and all that. You have to literally like you can actually be in a library for hours just going through the book trying to find precedent, certain cases that are similar to yours. And then like he said, you can find some stuff on the internet as well. The internet is powerful. Some people, well, a lot of people sleep on the internet. They say, "Oh, you got that from the internet." The internet is powerful. Okay, they have a lot of stuff that you can find on the internet, but it's a combination of internet and the going to the law library. So it's all time and motivation, because you got to be motivated. You definitely have to be driven, because it's gonna take a lot of time.
And remember, do not let the information intimidate you. Don't let it intimidate you. If you feel intimidated by it, just research deeper and further until you get that understanding. That's going to reduce those feelings of intimidation.
hmm Okay, thanks a lot for your question, Kevin. I see someone else. It looks like someone responded to you. They say, "I'm also interested in this. I'm not interested in law, but I'm interested in how you guys approach such a topic. Did you set goals, study when you have free time, etc.? And would you say the more you learn about law could be applied to anything in life, like languages?"
Uh, if it's the style of learning they're referring to, I mean, I guess uh, with learning anything, you're going to develop a style, a system, quite naturally, and whatever works for you, you will find that. You
hmm
will find whatever works for you, get you into your happy space, and then that's when everything will start to flow. That's when everything will start to flow for you. So I'm not sure if that answers the question,
hmm
but yeah.
Yeah, to touch more on about like can it apply to other things in life? Yes, and most certainly. Languages, since you brought up languages, this here that we're doing, this research and all that stuff takes time. When you learn a language, it takes time. So when you're able to do that, when you're able to spend that time doing the research and buckling down and being motivated to find that research, you can actually apply that to other things. If you can do that with one thing, you will be able to do it with another thing provided that you have the motivation. So definitely that can, if you do that with anything, it can apply across the board, apply across the boards. Okay, so thanks a lot for your question. Let me see what else was asked here. This might be personal. Okay, this question is by FL. It's just his name is abbreviated. This is FL. This might be personal, and if it is, ignore this question. I'm interested in you telling us what you wish you would have known before you married and what you wish you could have done different. Any advice you can give to us young guys out there about marriage and how we should approach it. I've seen many relationships end in divorce in my own family, and I know it's not a pretty sight to see. Also, how did you cope while going through all this? Thanks, Moses. Okay, so I guess I'll reply to this first. Marriage is okay. We know what marriage is about. The women, they have this dream of being married, wearing a white dress, having a beautiful wedding, and all that stuff. It's all beauty. I mean, it's all beautiful and it's nice. But you need to really know what you're getting yourself into when you get married. Now, me, I was young when I got married. I think I was about 24 or something like that. I think I was 24, 25 when I got married. So I didn't really know much about marriage. I guess I was even consider myself naive. Now, I didn't really know. When I say you need to know what you're getting yourself to, you need to know, first of all, where you're living. You need to know the laws when it comes to marriage. You need to really understand the laws. Just in case you have to go through a divorce, you need to understand that. You need to understand what this person who you're going to marry. You need to really get to know that person. I know it takes years to get to know a person, but for me, because before I got married, I was in a relationship with my wife for I think 2 years. Yeah, it was like two. Was that? I mean, we got married in 2004. Yeah, about 3 years. I was in a relationship with my wife for 3 years. We lived with each other, you know. So you want to get to know this person who you're going to get married to. You really need to get to know this person. You don't want to just jump into a marriage. We all have these feelings. We think I love this person. I love her so much. We're going to get married. You don't want to really just do that. It's deeper than that. When you marry someone, it goes deeper. When you marry someone, you're basically saying you want to be with them forever. Okay, you're gonna you're basically saying if you ever go through divorce, you're willing to, let's say if you make more, you have a lot of money. Okay, if you're wealthy, you make a lot of money. You're basically saying that you're basically saying even if I go through a marriage, I'm willing to take care of this woman. I'm willing to give up half of my assets for this woman, stuff like that. So you don't want to jump straight into a marriage. Now, what I would have done differently, I would have, I probably would have waited longer. And see, next time, if I'm going to get married again, I have to be in a relationship it's got to be between 5 and 10 years. I'm not getting married after 2 years, 3 years. I have to be married. I mean, I have to be in a relationship with this woman between 5 and 10 years and really be sure if that's something that I want to do. Okay. You want to also see if whoever you're marrying, if they're willing to be a partner with you. When I say partner, if you're into business and you plan on running the business, anything you want to ensure and make sure your partner understand what it is that you want to do, and if he or she is willing to partake in that business or whatever it is you want to achieve. You guys sort of like have a common ground on that. That helps when you guys are working together like that. That helps a lot. But if you got one person, they just depending on you to take care of them. And when you get married to someone, naturally someone is going to, especially particularly the woman, they're going to feel a sense of entitlement. They're going to feel a sense of entitlement.
Right.
And once they feel entitled, stuff start happening, and certain things don't go their way, they don't like it, then they get attitudes and they complicate things. It'll mess up your sex life. I mean, it does a lot and it causes a lot of stress. And then what happens? Well, most people they end up going to have an affair. They end up going to find someone else because of something real stupid and petty. You want to make sure you can communicate. This is something that I didn't have in my uh, previous relationship. Me and my wife, we had lack of communication. We didn't really communicate that much. You have to make sure you have communication. Anytime there's a disagreement with something, you have to feel comfortable telling your wife or your husband, hey, we need to talk about this. Let's say our sexual life, something is not going right in our sexual life. Hey, let's talk about this and see how we can resolve this. This is how I feel. How do you feel about our sex life? How can we how can we come up with some solutions to make our sex life better? You guys should be able to sit down and talk about that stuff rather than, you know what, he ain't doing this. I want to find somewhere else. If you don't have communication, if you can't sit down and talk with your partner, then it's going to be a disaster. And when you get married, it's going to be a disaster. It's going to have an effect on your on your marriage.
I like to weigh in.
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I would like to say that it's very important to understand uh, the understand to the core what marriage is really like, what it's really all about, and its true form, and what it actually does. Basically, a lot of people get the wrong idea about marriage, and marriage is basically a it's a form of it's a form of incorporation. It's just like, I would like to compare it to when you start a business. When you start a business, you can incorporate that business, or that business can be a sole proprietorship. A sole proprietorship in business is just a standalone person who is conducting business, but in their own name, perhaps. Now, with the when you're getting married, that's also like a partnership. Like in a business, you can form a partnership in a business, and it's the same thing. So just as a corporation, a corporation is identified as its own entity. So when you marry someone, you become incorporated with them. So now it's not you and them, it's both of you as one. So basically, it's the two people coming together and they're combined as one. And that is put in place so that way there is a solid commitment that's recognized through the state to give the state jurisdiction over the matters, if there is any type of matters surrounding divorce or um, spousal support issues or things of that nature. It gives the state jurisdiction. The marriage license gives the state the authority to protect both parties financially, both financially, and it allows where if there is a divorce and there's splitting of assets, then it will go through the court that had jurisdiction over the marriage. So it's basically like becoming incorporated. So that way, if I get mad, that for example, if the wife, if you have two people together and they're married, then they'll think twice before they just break right up, because it's so much at stake. They have to divorce, split assets, do the custody thing with the children, that whole thing. So the marriage, it pretty much keeps two people intact, and it also protects where some instances you might have a man who might have a lot of money, and a woman, she might not be so fortunate, and the man might say, well, I'm tired of you, I don't want you anymore, and I know I was taking care of you, but I don't want you anymore, goodbye. And so the woman is protected by being married. She's protected that he would have to still ensure that she maintained the same level of comfort as far as living when she was married to them. That's what that marriage license does. So people need to understand what they're doing when they're getting married. There is certain protections from the state that is put in place, and there's certain effects on your taxes, the way that you're taxed, and all kind of different things that all kind of things like that are affected by actually getting married. So it's not just about love. To me, when you marry, in my opinion, when you marry somebody, let it be based off of a lot more than just love. Let it be based off of, maybe we've been doing so great together. We make a great team together doing this or that. Make sure there's more than just love there, because I mean, that it shouldn't just be that. It has to be more than
Hey,
that.
we're human. So, you know, if anything goes sour, you know, us as humans, we get bored. You start getting bored, you know, it's that love stuff start fading away. You don't have that feeling anymore, and you just want to look for someone else. So yeah, like he said, it's you gotta it can't be about just love. It's not about that. It's got to be way more than that, you know. So just be careful. Just be careful when you make these decisions. People jumping in and out of these marriages, they think oh, I found the love of my life, and then 2 months go by, a year, and they're done.
I think that's why the divorce rate is so high, because people have the wrong understanding. And then a lot of people, they want to put a number on marriage, or they want to put a number on children. And when I say they want to put a number on it, they want to say, oh, well, I'm 33, I should be having some kids by now, or I'm about to be 40, I should, like, social pressure, social pressure to fit in with the status quo. That's no good. That's no good. That's another big reason why I believe that the divorce rate is so high, is simply because people have the wrong perception of what that is going into it.
Okay, we have one more question here by Beardan76. He asks, why is the sound quality so poor on these vidits? Q&A. Q&A. Who is older? Moses looks younger, but I could be wrong. I'm the older one. Not, but I'm 36 now. He just turned 33. I'll be 37 in March. But we both look like we in our 20s. I bet I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys will agree. And I think that has a lot to do with our lifestyle. We eat we with our diet, and we work out a lot. So we get a lot of comments, a lot of good comments, feedback from people. We tell people, hey, how old are you guys? Huh? Really? No way.
Big guns.
Yeah, so that's all. We don't have that many questions, but yeah, those are the questions for this video. So, as I said in the last video, if you guys have any questions, ask in this video. And then when we make the next response, we're going to answer the questions in this video. The questions that you're going to ask in this video that we're going to release today, we will answer them in the next video. This is how I work. I do this on my other channel as well. So that is it. Thanks for viewing. Thanks for the questions. And peace out. You guys take care.
Ciao.
Ciao.